everyone! It's now November, which means that it's time for another end of the month K-pop haul. So last month in October, I did end up getting quite a few number of albums. So some relatively new releases as well as some older releases. And what also made October pretty fun was that I also got quite a number of different K-pop related merch in the mail. So I'm going to start off with albums and work my way towards the merch that I ended up getting. So starting off with relatively newer releases, early last month I got Got7's new album, Present EU. And so I ended up joining a group order from my friend Ashley, who's Ashley Epidemic here on YouTube. She always runs group orders for Got7, as well as some other groups. So she usually runs pretty sizable group orders, especially for Got7. So I found that the easiest way for me to try to get all of JB's things, if possible, because he is the member I collect. So for this album, I didn't end up getting JB's cover. I got Jin Young's, which is fine. He's my second favorite member in Got7. And I really liked his solo, especially on this album, so I thought it was kind of fitting that I got his solo cover. Though I did get, I guess, JB's jacket thing. I didn't really want to undo this to reveal who the inner jacket cover was. But when it comes to cards, I did end up getting all JB, which was nice and kind of a load off that collection. So the pre-order benefit, I got his bookmark as well as his transparent card, and then these 3 different photo cards. And then of course the first pressed postcard set. And then I forgot to talk about Got7's album musically, other than that I really liked Jin Young's solo song, but I thought this was a really good release from Got7. And I noticed that a lot of people who were sort of unsatisfied with Got7's previous title tracks from their last few comebacks, they really enjoyed Lullaby a lot. And I also thought it was one of their best title tracks. Both the song, the dance, it just kind of really worked. And I thought it was kind of cool that they released it in so many different languages, and it sounded pretty good, I thought, in all the languages. I did really like the English version, surprisingly. Usually I have a lot of reservations if there's an English version to a K-pop song, but I thought a lot of the lyrics worked, and the English pronunciation, I thought, from the non-English speakers was pretty decent too. But I was really surprised by the Spanish version. As someone who doesn't speak Spanish, I thought it sounded good. The Chinese one was a little odd, but usually Chinese songs in general for me don't always work. The other group B-sides I thought were pretty strong on this album. I don't think they all maybe stood out as much as Lullaby did, but I thought they as a whole were pretty strong. When I saw that all the members were going to have their solo songs on here, I did have some reservations, especially from those who don't have a lot of solo content, like on SoundCloud or something. But I was pleasantly surprised by everyone's solo song. And this was an album that I just replayed a lot last month. It's, I think, really good from start to finish, and it just really shows, I think, Got7's growth as artists, and both growth as a group and as individuals, which is something that I really appreciate seeing from K-pop groups. And they're sort of following 2PM's footsteps, I think, in this regard, which is also really nice, I think, to see. And then last month I also bought a few new releases, which I've been doing less of, I feel like, this year, because I've been focusing so much on my Japanese proxy site hauls and completing my old collections. But I ended up getting Stray Kids' second mini album, I Am Who, and I ended up just getting a random version, so I forget which one this is, but the one with this cover. So for the random first page, I ended up pulling Han's first page, which I was really happy about because he's one of my biases along with Minho, so I'm glad that that worked out. And I really do like this photo book. I appreciate the consistent packaging that JYP has been giving us. And I think of the two photo books, this one was my favorite because I tend to like more casual photo shoots. And musically, I feel like with Stray Kids albums, when I listen to them at first, I don't really know what to think, but I keep replaying them. And this album I thought had a lot of great standout tracks. Voices especially stood out to me, but My Pace, their title track, was a lot of fun. I think it's good for these younger groups to have like fun songs like that, rather than trying to fit some sort of concept that you've been kind of seeing a lot with these rookie groups lately, I think. But I Am Who was just, I thought, a great continuation of their debut album, and I think a lot of people have similar thoughts in that regard too. And they also released their third mini album, and I do have plans on getting that as well. I'm not sure when that'll happen, but eventually. And Stray Kids just continued to impress me this year, and they're definitely one of my favorite rookies, if not my favorite male rookie at least. And so for the random things, the little mini poster, I ended up pulling Hyunjin. And so I guess he is up for trade for either Minho's or aka Minho's, or Han's aka Jisung's. So let me know if you would like to trade. And I also ended up pulling this Hyunjin photo card and this Felix photo card, as well as I think this is Felix's transparent card thing. So all these are again up for trade for either Minho's or Jisung's. And then the last new release that I picked up last month was Sunmi's Warning, and this album is gorgeous. I'm super happy with this packaging, and of course the track list is amazing as well. Sunmi has just been throwing it out of the park, and this is the dust jacket I ended up getting. I think those were random. And I just love the photo book. It's very artsy and dark, and it's just beautiful. And then these are the two things. I think everyone got this Lin Take Care card, and this was the photo card I pulled. So I love how this album gives me a lot of Reboot vibes, which is one of my all-time favorite girl group album releases. All the songs on here are great. I appreciate that they added Gashina and Heroine to this as well. And I really did like all the B-sides. I think maybe Black Pearl might be my favorite, but again, this entire track list is great from start to finish, and I'm just excited to see more Sunmi in the future. And next are a few older releases that I picked up. I'm starting with this AOA album, which I didn't own actually yet, mostly because I was waiting for a copy with a photo card that I was missing, and that is their Red Motion. So I got this actually through my friend Mason. He went to a physical store that sold K-pop albums, and he found sealed copies of his out-of-print album, and so he offered to buy one of them for me, which I'm very thankful for. I really love this single from them. Confused is one of my favorite AOA title tracks actually. And I also ended up getting Chomni's card, which was one I already had, sadly, but I guess she is up for trade. And I also ended up doing an album trade with Jade, who is Angels 2014 on YouTube. So she ended up getting a ton of albums from this huge bundle deal on Sun Market. So she bought one of those 1 yen bundle deals with just a ton of different K-pop albums with some Japanese releases and other things thrown in. So there are albums in that bundle that had groups she doesn't collect, and I ended up trading a couple albums I had for these OSTs. So this is from the drama You're Beautiful, which has Younghwa from CN Blue as well as Hongyi from FT Island. And this is one of the first K-dramas I watched, and it has a very special place in my heart. I kind of adore it. I've watched it a few times, and it's very rare for me to rewatch dramas. But this is the first part of the OST, the Korean press one. So you just have a simple CD here and a little photo book. And then this one is the second part, or part 2 of the OST, and this is the Taiwanese version. So I looked this up, and there are 2 different Taiwanese press versions you could get. You could get the CD DVD one, which is what this one is, or there's also a CD only version. And the first press for both of these came with different cards and things. So this actually ended up having, so this is a little slipcase. It's a little awkward packaging actually. But this ended up having the first press bookmark set, which came in the CD DVD version. So this has 4 different bookmarks, and Hongi's was the one I'm going to probably end up keeping for my FT Island collection. And you have 2 discs here, the Chinese lyrics, whoops, and this little booklet with more pictures from the drama. So You're Beautiful has a lot of great OST tracks actually, and you have quite a few songs with Younghwa and Hongi, and there's some FT Island versions of the songs that the characters perform, and it's, I think, a nice OST to have, especially if you enjoy the drama and you like the bands. And now next I'm going to share quickly some Japanese releases that came in. So I made an order on Amazon Japan to get Day6's new album, Unlock, and this was the photo card that it came with. And because I pre-ordered it from Amazon Japan, it came with this clear file. And I think I've mentioned how I just really like Japanese music, especially Japanese band music. And I think Day6 have been doing great things in Japan. And Unlock is a great first album for them. It contains the 4 songs that were on their first 2 singles they released earlier this year. But you have a lot of new content on here as well. It's just a very nice kind of lively track list, and it's very fun. The new title track for this album, Breaking Down, I think it's my favorite Japanese title track they've done so far. I think it's one of the songs that really shows that they could do harder rock well, that they don't always do with their Korean releases. And also in that order, I ended up getting Jun KS No Time Blu-ray concert. So this is the limited edition version, and this doesn't come with the bonus disc that the other 2 PM concert DVDs, Blu-rays usually come with, for I think it's kind of sad reasons. But there's a very lovely photo book in here, and I've yet to watch this because this just came in the other day. So I can't wait to sit down and have time to watch all this in HD. Because I've seen a few fan cams, and there's been like a Japanese broadcast TV version that has a few clips from this that I've seen. And now this last album is related to the previous thing, and this is Jun.K's fan club version of No Time. And so this album came out, I think, in early April, and I've been wanting this fan club version for a very long time. They didn't have too many of these distributed because they canceled the event that usually fan club members would buy these en masse in order to go to. But what makes this fan club version special is that it does come with the regular songs you could find on the regular edition, with this bonus disc, which is a live CD with specific songs from his previous concerts. So I really wanted to get my hands on this, and it also comes with a special photo book that's different from the other version. So it has this little pop-up standee, which is pretty neat. And then this is his photo book. and it comes with different photos than what's in his other versions. And it's this kind of weird orientation that's like what's on the CD. Now we're on to the fun merch that I ended up getting last month. And I'm going to start with some magazines that I kind of bought on impulse, mostly because there was something else I needed to buy from this eBay seller. And they also had these really cheap GPM related magazines up for sale that were only a few dollars. The first one is this edition of The Star, which came out earlier this year. And it has Junho here. So there's this nice little collaboration he did with Godiva, the chocolate company. And there's some nice large pictures of him. And there's also a Japanese edition of this, so you have to flip this for the other content, which I'll just flip through quickly. But there is also a Japanese edition of this, which I sort of want because it's smaller and it's more like a traditional magazine, so the pictures are a little bit more glossy and I guess HD compared to these pictures. And you also have Infinite in here, which is a nice bonus. That was the first one. And then the second one was this high cut edition back in 2015 when 2PM were promoting their #5 album with My House as the title track. And this photo shoot is one of my favorite 2PM photo shoots. And there's also a Japanese edition of this as well that I sort of want to get because this is more like newspaper kind of quality, so the pictures aren't as crisp as I think the Japanese edition. And so there's just, and his is a little bit thicker than the last one, so I'll try to get to this. So it's all these pictures of I think there's a few other familiar faces, so. And yeah, that's what this looks like. And because GPM had their 10th anniversary last September, there ended up being a lot of goods, released both in Korea and Japan, that they were selling, and I ended up picking up a few things, which I'll share. And so I'm going to share the Japanese goods because I got those a little sooner than the Korean ones. And I didn't go too wild with the Japanese goods. There were just a few specific things that I wanted. The first being this little figurine of Pen Pen, or Emperor Pen Pen, which is Junho's character. So focusing this so you can see a little better so it's not all blurry. But they had these available at one of his solo concerts last year, but they ran out quickly, I think, and they got really expensive online secondhand. So they remade these. So when I made my order for these Japanese 10th anniversary goods, I also shared my order with my friend Ashley, who I always sort of tempting with Zoopeon Goods because she loves it, and this is how I got her into 2PM. But she ended up buying this sort of paper toy kit, and she let me have Junho's, which I haven't made up yet, but I plan to do that soon. And this is what it ends up looking like. And the last things I bought for myself were some pins. And there were some new designs for these 10th anniversary goods. So I try to just restrict myself when it comes to pins and these rubber keychains that they sell for Zoopeon things. I usually just get Junho's, but I was tempted to buy the full pin set this time around because like this paper toy, one of the new designs were these baby Zoopeon characters. So this first one is a baby Pancake, which it's a very nice pin, and I really like, I think, especially Jun.K's Zoopeon design the most when it comes to these baby Zoopeon characters. And I have all these on my pin board right now, but they did come backed on these little board things for each of them. And I do have a pin board, which I was thinking of doing like a pin board tour, since it's all mostly K-pop with a few anime things on there. So I thought that might be a fun video to do. I don't know when I'll film it, but at some point I will probably. But that was the first one, and I'll go through the next ones quickly. So this is the baby Koala-kun, which is Nakun's, the baby Oak Cat, so Taehyun's character, the baby P-young character, so which is Woo-young's character, baby Emperor Pen, Junho's character, and then lastly the baby Chanana, Chansung's character. And I think out of all the designs, the baby pins of the Magne line, so Junho's and Chansung's, I think look the weirdest, but I couldn't resist in getting the full set. And then next I'll go quickly over the Korean 10th anniversary goods I ended up buying. So I ordered these through Oak DGG, which I did promise to do a tutorial on how to order for them and some tips of what to do in order to get free shipping, because they do have free shipping over a certain threshold, but it has to be, I think, under 2 kilograms depending on where you live. So there's some sort of fine print things you have to be careful about when ordering from them. But the order that I made with all the 10th anniversary GPM goods, I think was well under 2 kilograms. So I didn't get charged any extra shipping fees, thankfully. I do have Luna's membership kits coming in, so I ordered one for me and one for my friend. So I'm hoping that they won't charge additional shipping for that, but I'll have to wait and see, and I'll report back to see how that goes. But the biggest thing, or rather the most expensive thing in that 10th anniversary goods order was for one of the members' pajama sets. So I was a little hesitant to order these because Korean sizes tend to be pretty small. So it's sort of a gamble for me to buy these, but when I got these in, they fit perfectly, but they did shrink once I washed them. So they're slightly too short, I think, in the arms and the pant leg, but I think I'm just gonna let out the hem, and it should fix that up, thankfully. So, but this is what Junho's PJ set looks like, and as I mentioned, I did wash these, so I probably should have ironed this before showing you, but these are made out of 100% cotton, and when I got these initially, they were very starchy, like they weren't very comfortable, and I think after a few washings this will be a little softer, thankfully. But I couldn't resist getting these because this pocket detail is just really cute, and I was in need of some PJs, so I thought, why not? So the style of these are sort of, I guess, traditional PJs, and it does come with bottoms that look like this. And I also ordered the coin purse with Junho's character on here because it is green, which is my favorite color, and of course I had to get a Junho thing. And so the pouch is pretty nice. I'm not totally sure where I'm going to use this yet. I might stick it in my day purse, but I'm not sure yet. And it's a nice green corduroy. I don't know how well you can tell on the camera. And it has the My House design for his Pen character. And on the PJs, I didn't mention, is the 10 out of 10 design, which is from their debut song. And then this design is inspired from their My House song that was on their #5 album. So it has a nice little zipper here, and very nice, I think, quality with all the seams and everything finished nicely. Another My House design Junho thing I got was this keychain. So a closer look at it. I do like how this is an enamel design rather than usually with their keychains, they're the rubber sort of designs. So I thought this looked nice. I also got the pin set for Junho, which is again an enamel pin, and there's 4 different pins. So there's one of his 10 out of 10 character, his name, the GPM kind of heart symbol, and this with his color, name, and birth date on it. And now the last thing I got was a figurine. And I really wanted to get Junho's 10 out of 10 pen figurine, but unfortunately it looked like his was one of the ones that was sold out when these goods were available online. So my next favorite design I wanted to get was actually a Pancake. And so it's a Jun KS character with the My House design. So it comes in this box, and then a closer look at the figure. So I liked Jun KS character's design a lot more than Pen's design for the My House figurine version, at least. I don't know, there was something weird about the coloring that was on the Pen one. And so I went with this one. And so that was everything that I received last month, minus my really big Zen Market package and some photo cards that I already shared in my GPM photo card collection update. And then regarding what I'm getting next month, I think that's going to be a very light month because I'm not looking to get any more Korean releases unless they sneak in another Korean solo album from Junho, or I don't know if Chansung will get a Korean album at some point, but before they both enlist. But I think that's sort of the only thing I would get, or anything else 2PM related. I did order Hongyi's new solo album. So the Korean version I got through M-Wave, so that won't arrive for quite some time. I know the FT Island one is with Sana right now because we ordered our albums together, and so I'm gonna pick that up when I come visit her for the Day 6 concert in Atlanta, which I'm really excited for. And I don't think I've mentioned going to that concert yet, but if anyone else is going to that concert, do let me know. Sana and I are going together, which should be a lot of fun. And somehow we managed to get front row tickets when we were buying online. We had plans just to buy P3, but then these front row tickets sort of landed in our laps when we were in the waiting room, and all that stuff, you know, that happens with ticket sales. So that should be an interesting experience that I'll probably talk about in a video. Or I don't know if she's going to do a vlog, because I think she did that for a few other concerts she's been to recently. So we'll see what happens with that. But other new releases, I just have pre-orders for Japanese things. So I have Homan's pre-ordered along with Hongyi's Japanese solo album, but I don't think those will be coming until December. I also have Kun's and Junho's Japanese albums ordered, some of which I'm ordering from someone in Japan who's able to get me the fan club versions. And I might order Kun's limited version B on Amazon Japan when it's released. So I could get those songs very quickly, and I might order that with Homan's new concert Blu-ray too. But that is all my buying plans for the moment. I do have a Japonica package that'll be coming next month, so I think I'm going to do a Japonica haul video because something very exciting came up on Mercari that I had to buy instantly. So I'll talk about that more later. But this was everything from October, and let me know what your guys' favorite releases were from this past month that you bought or that were released. And in my last video for my 2PM photo card collection, I mentioned how I could do a K-pop photo card organization sort of video. Give me some tips and what supplies I use for my photo card binder. So if that is of interest to anyone, do let me know, and I can queue up that video for some time in the near future. So basically what I'm saying is let me know what content you guys want to see, and that will help give me an idea of what videos I should make my priority and all that sort of thing. So that was it for this video, and until next time, bye guys.